evidently want me to say something about my private life, not realizing that the whole show might be pulled instantly.
Actors are known for controlling their emotions on screen, following the director's instructions, but off camera, some let their emotions spiral into alcoholism, ruining their lives in the process. Let's take a closer look at 10 such actors. Number 10, Gig Young. Gig Young was a talented actor who lit up the screen in Hollywood. He won an Oscar for his role in They Shoot Horses, Don't They?, and entertained audiences with his work on shows like The Twilight Zone. But sadly, Gig Young faced a big challenge in his personal life: addiction. He struggled with drinking too much alcohol and taking pills, especially a medication called Valium. This addiction affected Gig Young's acting career in a big way. It even caused him to lose a job on a movie on his very first day of filming. Sadly, Gig Young's battle with addiction led to a tragic ending. His story serves as a reminder of the dangers of drug and alcohol abuse. Number 9, John Barrymore. John Barrymore was a shining star of Hollywood's early days, born into the legendary Barrymore family, whose name was synonymous with acting excellence. Imagine a time before television when the silver screen captivated audiences. John, with his booming voice and dramatic flair, brought characters to life on that flickering screen. He excelled in the works of Shakespeare, the master storyteller, breathing life into complex emotions and dark desires. John Barrymore, the famous movie star, had a hidden problem. Just like some of the cowboys he played, he struggled with drinking too much alcohol. His childhood was tough, and whenever things got difficult, he would drink to forget his problems. This habit grew worse over time, becoming a secret that could ruin his career. There's even a story, maybe not entirely true, but it shows a struggle about his wife finding him trying to drink her perfume. By the 1940s, the effects of his addiction were undeniable. His memory, once as sharp as a tack, began to fail him, impacting his ability to deliver the powerful performances he was known for. Tragically, this Hollywood legend's career dimmed before its time, a reminder that even the brightest of stars can be brought low by their demons. Number 8, Jen Michael Vincent. Jen Michael Vincent wasn't just another pretty face. This guy had it all: stunning good looks, major Hollywood fame, and the lead role in the hit TV show Airwolf. But sadly, his story takes a tragic turn. Vincent's heavy drinking and drug use led him down a dark path. He racked up DUIs, got into bad car accidents, and even struggled with domestic violence. All of this took a huge toll on his career and personal life. Remember how he was once compared to the likes of Brad Pitt? Addiction ripped that away, turning him from a top A-list actor to a forgotten one. A car accident in 1996 only made things worse for his health. He passed away in 2019 at the age of 74. Number 7, Richard Burton. Richard Burton was a true showman. His charisma, booming voice, and dynamic acting skill drew comparisons to the legendary Laurence Olivier. But even the most brilliant of stars can have hidden struggles. Burton himself admitted to starting down the path of alcoholism at the incredibly young age of 12. By his lowest points, he was reportedly consuming a shocking 3 bottles of vodka every single day. This addiction wasn't just a personal problem, it even impacted his work. During the filming for The Klansman, there were reports that Burton struggled to even stand up. He would often have to shoot scenes while sitting down or even lying down. Sadly, despite doctors' warnings about his deteriorating health, Richard continued his destructive habits. His life was tragically cut short in 1984 at the age of 58. Number 6, Barbara Payton. Barbara Payton had all the makings of a Hollywood success story. In the early 1950s, she was a rising starlet in B-movies, even rubbing shoulders with Hollywood big shots like Franchot Tone. But her promising career took a U-turn due to a relentless enemy, alcohol addiction. As her dependence on booze grew stronger, her appearance began to change dramatically. Opportunities she once had slipped away, and she even found herself in trouble with the law. Sadly, at the young age of just 39, Barbara's life was tragically cut short by heart and liver disease, a direct consequence of her battle with alcoholism. Her story serves as a stark reminder that addiction can destroy even the brightest of futures. Number 5. Oliver Reed. Oliver Reed commanded attention on screen. He had a presence that captivated audiences, often playing roles as cunning villains. His piercing blue eyes and the scars on his face, a badge of honor from a bar fight fueled by too much alcohol, were as recognizable as his exceptional acting skills. Sadly, his talent for bringing characters to life was often overshadowed by his real-life battle with the bottle. Director Ridley Scott even took a chance on him for the movie Gladiator, but only on one condition: Oliver had to stay sober throughout filming. Well, according to his friend Sir Christopher Lee, that promise only lasted for 8 drinks. Oliver's life ended tragically after a night at the pub where he consumed an incredible amount of alcohol. This excessive drinking ultimately led to a heart attack, taking him from the world far too soon. Number 4. Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart. This name is synonymous with classic Hollywood. He delivered iconic performances in films like Casablanca and The Maltese Falcon, becoming a true legend. But Bogart's life off-screen wasn't quite as glamorous. He was known for being a heavy drinker, and some friends even said his personality changed completely when he was intoxicated. This drinking not only caused problems in his personal life, but also impacted his work. There were times when he'd show up drunk or hungover on set, causing delays and frustration for everyone involved. Despite his undeniable talent, Bogart's love for booze and cigarettes ultimately took a toll on his health. He was diagnosed with cancer in 1956 and passed away shortly after. Number 3. W.C. Fields. W.C. Fields was a comedic genius. He was known for his grumpy on-screen persona, perfect comedic timing, and his signature slightly nasally voice. Fields had a knack for seamlessly blending his real-life personality with the characters he played. However, his love for booze almost cut his entire career short. By his mid-50s, his drinking had reached alarming levels, with reports suggesting he consumed a staggering 2 quarts of gin every single day. This excessive drinking led to severe health issues and a temporary setback in his career. Thankfully, though, Fields eventually found a way to manage his addiction and made a successful comeback in both radio and films. Sadly, the complications caused by his alcoholism ultimately led to his death in 1946 at the age of 66. Number 2. Peter O'Toole. Peter O'Toole wasn't just any actor. He was nominated for a whopping 8 Academy Awards. He delivered unforgettable performances in epic films like Lawrence of Arabia, but his brilliance was often overshadowed by a constant struggle: alcoholism. O'Toole's wild escapades with booze were legendary, with stories of him being intoxicated throughout entire movie shoots. There's even a hilarious tale about him taking a date to play, only to realize much later that he was actually the star of the show. His drinking eventually led to serious health problems, forcing him to finally quit. Sadly, the damage was already done. His appearance notably declined in his later years, and in 2013, he passed away after years of battling both alcohol and cigarettes. Number 1. Bernard Lee. Bernard Lee might have played the boss who gave James Bond orders in those fancy spy movies, but there was a lot more to him than that. He was a super experienced actor with over 100 films and TV shows under his belt. Everyone remembers him as M, the head honcho of the Secret Service in 11 James Bond movies. He did such a great job, you could really feel how much pressure M had on his shoulders. But away from the glitz and glam of those movies, Bernard Lee had a real struggle going on. Alcohol became a big problem for him. His life wasn't all fancy drinks and fast cars. Sadly, he went through some really tough times. Losing his wife was a huge blow, and then he even got beat up real bad. On top of that, he was having money problems. All the stress made him turn to alcohol to feel better, but it only ended up becoming a big addiction for him. And that concludes our 10 Hollywood stars whose lives were impacted by alcoholism. These stories serve as a reminder of the devastating effects of addiction. If you or someone you know is struggling, please remember that there's help and hope available. Let's end this video on a positive note. In the comments below, tell us about an actor who overcame addiction and found success. Thanks a lot for joining us today. See you next time. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.